Erat battling away along the boards, but couldn't pick it up. Finally, Korolev did, whiffed on a clearing attempt, but the Hawks fortunately let the puck roll loose to center.
I think he was lucky too. I think maybe his stick was broken, Pat, so he got away with playing with a broken stick when he shot it out of the zone.
It's dumped into the Nashville zone. Vokoun ringing it around the boards and out to center. McAlpine bounced one back in there. Delmore. And this one's going to be ruled icing. And McAlpine can't believe it. Looked like to me that he did have the checkered red line at center, but the linesman saw it another way.
One of the ugliest sticks in the league is owned by Igor Korolev. What a different blade he uses. The shaft of his stick doesn't happen very often, but it broke when he was trying to exit the puck and actually got a little help around the blue line. Korolev had good control in just a flimsy shaft, and they were lucky and fortunate. But a nice little play by Spacek to step up, and he redirected the outlet pass and got it into the neutral zone. And that's immediately Korolev went to the bench to get a new stick. That doesn't happen very often with those kind of sticks, right in the shaft.
Cleared in behind the Hawk net. McAlpine put it to the near side. Then it came back to him. He tried to clear. This one deflects over the glass and out of play. And while you are still digesting on Friday, the Hawks will be busy again. The Hawks will be in Columbus to take on the Blue Jackets. A 5:30 pregame show, both on radio and television. And 6 o'clock the puck drop for the Hawks in Columbus on Friday. And we certainly want to send along our Thanksgiving wishes to you and yours.
Gobble, gobble.
Our biggest hope is that you'll be able to spend some time tomorrow with the people that are important in your life and be able to enjoy and appreciate their company. I know you feel the same as I do, Billy Boy. We're lucky folks. We have a lot to be thankful for, and it really seems like that holiday this year has taken on a more intense meaning.
Sure has.
So enjoy the day tomorrow. We'll be back with you on Friday from Columbus. Here's the McAlpine deep in his own end. Spinning off a one check nicely. Now rolled it to Sullivan, who backhands it out to center ice. Sullivan now looking for Zhamnov. It rolled behind him, then chased by Amonte with a drive right on. Vokoun, good save, Amonte.
We didn't just build a better SUV, we built a better Mercedes. Introducing the redesigned 2002 M-Class.
In favor of Nashville. A couple of unbelievable plays in front of both goals. Looked like when it appeared maybe a couple of goals, some defensive gems. McAlpine and Stu Grimson coming out of nowhere to block one away from the net in front of his goaltender, Thomas Vokoun.
They draw the Nashville zone to the Predators. And Eaton rolled it to center where it's dumped into Chicago ice. Dazer on right wing. Gets some help from McAlpine, who carries to center. Dumped it in. Scraston tries the far side. That one's kicked back into the corner. Chased by Nylander. He lost the handle. And it bounces free to center ice. Now the Hawks, Dazer trying to pass it to himself off the side boards, but as he crossed the line, Nylander couldn't get back on side, and the whistle sounds.
Great try by Eric Dazer there. He waited. He had his head up before he was at center ice and saw where everybody was, and then tried to make a play at the blue line, but it was just offside. I talked about a couple plays offensively. Spacek with a good shot, getting it over a sliding block. Lokun got a good piece of it with his blocker, but the puck laid there. There was no Blackhawk around to get it because Stu Grimson got his big body in front. And prior to that, Cliffy running with a beautiful pass to Kimmo Timonen out of nowhere. What a save by Tebow. The puck laid in the crease. Chris McAlpine with a kick with his left foot. Unbelievable how that puck didn't go in. And in the process, when he fell, Cliff Ronning fell on top of McAlpine and definitely took it on the chin with his blade. Skate blade, that is.
Now it's in the Hawks zone, but Mark Bell able to scoop one to center. Taken now by Housley. Carrying it to the Nashville end. And Delmore for the Predators goes around the boards. Out to center. Where Orzog's pass was stolen. And it's shot back into the Nashville end. Fitzgerald cleared it to center ice. Arkhipov dumped it in. And it's picked up by Bell on left wing. He scooped it into the center ice area. Eight minutes remaining in the third period. 3-2 in favor of the Predators. The Hawks look to avoid a winless streak reaching for, but here's a steal and a good recovery by Spacek to bail out his partner McAlpine, who had whiffed on a rink-wide passing attempt. Was able to get back in time to break up a potential Nashville opportunity. And it's cleared to center ice. Kicked ahead to Walker, steps over the line, cutting to the net. He couldn't pull the trigger. Now Walker centered. It's knocked away from Yachkin. The team, and his shot is blocked by Amonte. And then captured by Amonte, who gets to center ice.
A great pass by Timonen to spring Walker, and good back checking. The Hawks never stopped. They all came back. They were able to get the puck back to the point at least by back checking, because there was 3 Predators in a row that had a whack at it.
Now Vandenbush. That knocked away in the Nashville zone. It squirts back to center. Chased by Hartnell in over the line. Got Hartnell. Works back of the Hawk net. Housley able to swat it loose. And it trickles back to the center ice area. Peter White tried to flip it in. That hit a Nashville player. Wound up in the Predator bench. 6.5 now left in regulation. Nashville 3, Chicago 2. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Blackhawks hockey is brought to you in part by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horn. Dodge. And by AT&T Broadband.
Gather round with the family there. Gonna eat my share. It's a fine day. With turkey on a plate.
Dodge is giving you something special to take home for the holidays. The security of 7-year or 100,000-mile powertrain protection on any new Dodge. Plus, we've extended 0% APR on select 2002s through the end of the year.
It's good to see you, Dad.
No thanks. It gives me gas.
With turkey on a plate.
Oh, did he get the phone back?
It's the 3rd truckload this week.
Yeah, great deal. You get the bonus pack, $49.99 after a $30 rebate. Plus now you can get 5,000 minutes for just $39.99 a month.
Can't keep them on the shelf. Was there a pink doll on that shipping order? Nope. Hey, can I give it to Bruno?
Get the Primeco bonus pack and now get 5,000 minutes a month for just $39.99. Call 1-800-PRIMECO.
For glorious army of Blablekistan, you command the Navy, you the infantry, and you will take charge of Air Force.
Run the Air Force? But I don't even know how to fly a plane.
Planes? Capitalist dog. We don't have luxury of planes.
Yes, sir, but how?
To the canteen for some Red Bull, and no more questions.
I have one, now what?
Just wait, we'll see, comrade.
Oh, Red Bull gives you wings.
Time running out, 6:42 remaining. The Predators with a 3-2 lead. The Blackhawks are going to have to pull one out of that here. Start putting some shifts, consecutive shifts together on the offense. They've had a couple of spurts, but unable to carry the play extensively for great lengths of time. The Predators give them credit. Have come back a couple of shifts themselves. Had some good scoring opportunities.
Meanwhile, the Hawks' next opponent, the Columbus Blue Jackets, played at home tonight against Detroit and must have played a whale of a game, but lost to Detroit 1-0 with Luc Robitaille scoring in the last minute of overtime to beat them. 1-0, the Red Wings able to knock off the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Driving to the net again. Well, we will feature someone a little bit different, and that is good to see, and a guy that the Hawks definitely need to step up in place of Steve Thomas. Mike Peluso comes out from his check, tight to the net, gets into a scoring opportunity in a position himself as a goal scorer, beats his check and gets off a backhand, but it was placed perfectly up against the post at the time on Mike Dunham. Driving to the net was Mike Peluso.
Face off to the left to Dunham, or I should say of Bocoon. Dunham has been resting since the end of the first when Bocoon replaced him to start second period action.
Good move, too, at this point.
Yes, sir. Bocoon, if he can get through the next 6 minutes, will pick up his first win of the season. After 4 losses and 2 ties, charged to his record. And the Hawks have other thoughts. Now they have to come up with some other action to avoid Bocoon getting that long-awaited first victory. Well, the Hawks have mustered up only 4 shots on net. Well, that's not right. 7 shots they've had here in the third period so far. Off the draw, Zhamnov put it in behind. Chased by Amonte to the near side. Out of Calder back of the goal. He's checked. Walker in after it. Chipped it up the boards. Not out. Taken by Calder for Zhamnov in the deep slot. His shot. Bocoon stand up to the rebound. Amonte scored! Tony Amonte got the rebound and unloaded a quick rifling low shot, and the Hawks have caught the Predators 3-3.
Well, there you go, Dylan. There's your first puck. Tony Amonte scoring a huge goal for the Blackhawks in what I would call a must game to at least get a point at him on this long road trip. And it will be his 8th goal. Good work on a face-off win by the Blackhawks, all starting with Tony Amonte. 3 guys went to him. Kyle Calder got the puck across to Zhamnov. Zhamnov's shot went through traffic and hit the net. The big rebound came out to Amonte. Remember, Amonte was on the far boards with 3 guys. He got to the slot, beat them all, and let it rip underneath Bocoon.
Well, each team has tasted the lead in this game. Now it's a 3-3 contest. With 5.5 left in the third, here's a steal by the Preds. Back then a centering pass, and Warzog was too well covered on the doorstep. Now picked up by Korolev. He clears it around the boards, and Spacek able to hoist it back to center ice. Zhamnov and Calder assisting Amonte's 8th goal of the year. And the Hawks, with that big marker, have tied the game at 3-3. Here's Scraston from his own end. Long pass to center, and Hartnell dumped it in. Battles his way behind the net. Now stolen there by Clem. He put it off the glass, and it deflected out of the rink. 5 minutes remain in regulation. 3-3 your score. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Always made Jack Daniel's whiskey the way Jack Daniel himself prescribed back in 1866. And just one sip will tell you why. We always will. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey.
What can I get you?
Black Sedan Limo reminds viewers that safety is good advice anytime, whether at a friend's, out on the town, or at the game. Remember, friends never let your friend drive drunk. Have fun, but be smart. If you're doing the drinking, let someone else do the driving. ASAP Cleaning Service reminds us that safety on the job is job one. Knowledge of the job and awareness are qualities we all count on in our fellow employees and employers. Keep the workplace and job site safe for yourself, your coworkers, and the clientele you serve.
This month, AT&T Broadband delivers the movies you want on in-demand pay-per-view. The Mummy returns. Along Came a Spider. Driven. Blow. All this month on in-demand pay-per-view from AT&T Broadband.
More from the Hawks in Nashville after the game.
Pat Foley, Billy Gardner in Music City, USA. 3-3 your score with just under 5 minutes remaining in regulation time. It's been a hard-fought seesaw battle throughout. Predators scored the first goal of the game. The Hawks then took the lead. And the Predators jumped back in front early in the third, only to have the Hawks catch them. Nashville goals from Delmore, Zhamnov, and Timonen. The Blackhawks with goals from Dazer, Peluso, and Amonte.
You know, one of the reasons I think the Blackhawks got back in this third period was a shift by Peter Whitesline. Bobby Probert and Ryan Vandenbush did a wonderful job down in the corner. They laid out a couple of guys. They got a couple of chances themselves, and that turned around this period. They did not look that good up to then.
Here's the draw. Walker to the near corner of the Hog zone was checked. Zhamnov kicked it loose to Amonte. He couldn't get it out. Now back of the goal it goes. And chased by Mironov, who rolled it loose, and out comes Amonte. Amonte rolled it over the Nashville line. Zhamnov spins. And then his pass picked off in a big collision. Oh, and Walker with his head down got clobbered by Mironov, and Scott Walker, who, as we mentioned, just returned tonight from a concussion.
Wow.
I'm not sure where he took most of that shot, but it was up high, shoulder at least, maybe neck or head area. And Mironov really did nothing wrong there. He was there. Walker was coming at him with his head down. And you can't play this game with your head down.
Well, Scotty Walker looked like he actually was losing his footing as he was moving into the area of Mironov. Picked up the puck, and he lost control of the puck and looked down at it, and actually it looked like his right leg was going one way, and I think he was out for a split second. And he missed the last 3 games prior to this one. They thought he would play in Detroit, but never passed the test in the morning that they have to take. He did go through the series of tests this morning and passed, and is back in the lineup. But boy, he took the brunt of that right in the top of the head. It looked like shin pad from Boris Mironov, and that would hurt a lot because the leg doesn't move that quickly when you're going head first into it. And it looked like the knee pad of Boris Mironov, which is very solid, hit the top of the helmet. That not only hurt the head, but it might have whipped his neck back a little bit.
Boris Mironov with at least 4 hits, including that one tonight, now has 67 hits for the year. This is the 23rd game for Chicago, and Mironov with a pretty fair lead in that department as far as the Blackhawks list is concerned.
He's been very assertive in that regard.
Now the draw cleared into the Blackhawk zone. Bobo put it up the near side, but Hartnell's there to steal, rolled it in deep. Now a centering pass, and laid loose in the crease. Big scramble. Is Tebow able to cover? He is. The whistle took an extra second, it seemed to go, but finally the referee lost sight of the puck.
That puck, I believe, Pat, might have been in the net. Jocelyn Tebow does not know where the puck is when it's dished out from behind. And I think it's underneath his body, but his body, a good portion of it is to the back of the net. It's dumped in, good pressure. Tebow tries to throw it around, but there's no one there but the jersey of Hartnell, and he makes a nice play down low, and it's a centering attack, trying to get it back to him. And we really could not see it from the angle we have, but Hartnell with a nice little feed down and drives the net after he plows over Clem. Pass comes from behind the net. It hits a stick, might have been Sullivan's stick, and then a glove movement. Not sure if it was Hartnell that moved his glove and motioned the puck towards the goal line. We never really were able to see it, but when we saw Tebow step up, it sure seemed like the puck came from in the net. But the referee, the official, was right on top of it, and he had no vision of the puck. And when you lose sight of it, the whistle has to go, and that's what happened.
And you didn't really see the Predator players beefing about it either, so good. Face off to the left of Tebow. Here's the draw. Delmore with a long shot, never got through. Now picked up by Peluso. Mike Paluso made a good bank pass to center for Sullivan. He fires a long one. That's gloved by Vokoun. He's going to hang on to it.
Certainly no chances, Thomas Vokoun. Pretty good story for him coming into this game now. Thomas Vokoun, they've had plenty of offers for Thomas Vokoun in the past, and they've wanted to build through their goaltending. In the first 3 years back, goaltending was not a problem whatsoever. All of a sudden here in Nashville, it has become a problem. And one of the reasons why they like Vokoun, not only can he play net, but he's got a very small contract in the sense of money and terms for the next 3 years. So he's under contract till 2004, and it's not a lot of money. So they love having his abilities, and as a backup goaltender, not bad to have a smaller paycheck behind Mike Dunham, who's earning a good dollar.
The draw is cleared to center. Now back to Holder in his own end. It's up the near side, held it to Bell. Threw it to the far board. Paluso hacked one into the near corner. Now Fitzgerald, the Nashville captain, with 3 minutes remaining in regulation. Tom Fitzgerald weaves to the Hawk line. A long slap shot was deflected wide. Fitzgerald chased it down, centered, and Spacek able to steal that. Got it to Paluso, who chopped it back into the Nashville end.
Great leadership there by Tom Fitzgerald. He shot the puck. There was about 3 Hawks he had to go through, and he beat them all to it. And luckily, the Hawks were in good position coming back to the front of T-ball.
Now Zhamnov fires along with it. Vokoun stops and then handles to the near side. Stolen away by Calder to Amonte. Walking out in front, trying to center. Zhamnov had just jumped away from him to Housley. He spins it in behind the goal. Now Timonen looking to clear, couldn't get it out. Calder far corner is checked. Back of the net goes Amonte. Pass it to himself off the end boards. Now Amonte takes a look for a little help, but his speed deflects out of the zone to center.
That's excellent coverage. The Hawks with good puck control, but excellent coverage. Not a lot of room for anyone to maneuver, and Amonte put himself in a tougher position on his backhand, tried to go back to the point, and there was a stick blade in the way. But good forward checking. Amonte with plenty of time, had plenty of moves early on, just couldn't find anyone.
Now the Preds move in. It's dumped in behind the Chicago net. T-Boy had it knocked away from behind. Didn't see a man there. A shot from Johnson is blocked. Might have saved an empty net goal against, as T-Boy was concentrating on a loose puck, but now it's jammed to center, and a whistle on the play for a high stick. Otherwise, the Hawks were gone with a 2-on-1.
Well, I did not see that. Sullivan with a nice play in his own zone, and I did not see the high stick itself. I thought they had a 2-on-1 at center ice. Cliff Ronning trying to get the puck low. Justin Thibault comes out and was checked from behind. Ronning with a dish to Johnson. What a play by Sullivan. He got the stick on his backhand to knock the puck off of Johnson. Johnson stayed with it, but Clem got in as he read the play well. He threw it up the boards, and that's when Sullivan, I believe, high stick the puck. And that was the call. That's why the face-off back to the Hawk zone.
On their third try to dump it in, the Predators finally get it in as the Hawks had the blue line all bottled up. Well, the puck shot back into Nashville territory. 1:20 remaining in the third period in a 3-3 contest. Cliff Ronning deep in his own end. Now there's a long pass to center, picked up by McAlpine, and he couldn't advance it. And the Predators take a 2-line pass, and the whistle sounds. And a little pushing and shoving after the fact, but nobody wants to do anything ugly here in an important game in the final minute. Cliff Ronning in his 15th year in the National Hockey League, Billy, well over 600 points, or 700 points I think he's over in his career. And he broke in with the St. Louis Blues 15 years ago. Guess who his first winger was? Brian Sutter. At that time, Brian, of course, and Bernie Federko formed a tremendous duo for the St. Louis team. And Cliff said before the game tonight, you know, Brian was my first left winger. And he said, I really think Jacques Demers just did that for me to help me out as a young kid coming in, a small guy. And they put Brian on my wing for my first couple NHL games. I said, what do you remember about playing with Brian Sutter? He said his eyes got about as big as saucers. He said, wow, I have never been around anybody so intense.
That is true. Well, Cliff Ronning's done pretty well, Pat. 750th point. October 30th is 750th point. a small man in a big man's game. He has now played 958 games. And the one thing he says, too, is he just likes to prove everybody wrong. Everybody dissed him and said he would never make it. And everywhere he has gone, he's been able to prove otherwise. And there's a couple incidents, and you know this. A couple of teams let him go. Vancouver was one team, just let him go. And Phoenix almost just let him go. In fact, there was a time when he went to Italy for a year and was just dominating over in Italy. In fact, I was playing in Europe at the time, and his name came up quite often in the papers because he was so good. That only lasted a year, and he was able to come back through expansion and just continued his brilliant career for a small guy.
I mean, he is a knee-high guy. I mean, I don't know what they list him at, but he doesn't look like he weighs more than 150 pounds.
Oh, you're right.
But he's a good fella, as you say. He's lasted a long time. When most would think that he would not be able to. Meanwhile, a puck into the Nashville bench, and Orzog took that one in the beak, it looks like.
Sure did. Get a towel over his head. Oh, boy, did he ever. Wow.
Right over the right eye. That must have hit him on edge. He got opened up.
But it's hockey.
What was the promotion tonight? Give blood, play hockey. Here's the draw in the Nashville zone. We're in the final minute of the third period now as Zhamnov tries to keep one in, but it's knocked away by Fitzgerald to center. Legwan's pass hit a skate. And now the Predators regroup to the neutral zone. And Fitzgerald did in. On the far side, Amonte lost it along the board. Zhamnov threw it into the corner. Now a centering pass. Laid loose at front. Big travel shot and a save. Rebound. They score! The Predators have taken the lead with 10 seconds left when the Hawks had possession of their own zone and failed to clear. It's 4-3.
Talked about this earlier. The Hawks have had plenty of opportunities throughout this year, and they've got themselves into trouble by having good control of the puck. They had pretty good pressure from the Predators, but it all started from behind the net. When Jocelyn Thibault had control of the puck, he played it on his backhand up the boards. The Hawks never from there really recouped and give the Predators every credit possible. They got the puck, and they did exactly what they had to do. You're late in the game, you get bodies to the front, and you throw the puck there, and good things might happen, and that's exactly what did happen. Jocelyn Thibault got back into his net. There was players around the perimeter and the crease area, and they just battled for it. John Clem fell, and that gave a chance and an opportunity. But boy, oh boy, I'm not sure who it was. It might have been Zhamnov, but someone came flying in and took two Hawks down in the crease area, and that gave Legwan the chance to just throw it into the empty net. It was Zhamnov that he knocked two Blackhawks down. The puck laid there. Legwan came from nowhere and had an empty net, with Thibault also one of the players down on the ice.
So David Legwan scores with 10.3 left.
Now Barry Trotz just loves David Legwan. Everyone compares him because of his draft, his high draft, to Mike Modano, and he says the one thing he has over Mike Modano is we're teaching him how to play the game at both ends of the ice. Mike Modano became a great two-way player only about 4 or 5 years ago. He played offensively, and he was very good at that early in his career. But David Legwan, they've held him back in some sense in the offense to teach him how to play the whole game.
The Hawk goal is empty. They put 11.5 on the clock, by the way. Here's the draw. Dumped into the Nashville zone. O'Coon chipped it to the near side. 3 seconds and jumped loose. Predators clear. Nashville wins. The Predators scored a goal late in the second period to tie the game, and they score a goal with really about 12 seconds left in the third to get the winner. And 21-year-old David Legwan notches the game winner for the Nashville Predators.
Now the nightcap recap, Mike Peluso scored his first NHL goal in his first game, but David Legwan with a huge goal, 12 seconds remaining in the third period, and that was the killer. The shots on goal, 27-22 in favor of the Blackhawks.
Your final score tonight, Nashville 4, Chicago 3. We'll send you back to the Chicago studios.
Well, what more can we say? The Blackhawks fall 3-2 in Nashville right there. These are the games that pretty much scare you, especially a team that has been playing so well as them. These are the games that they have to win. I mean, they didn't even come out ready to play. We saw them flat in the beginning, and which is almost a reverse effect because they've had 4 days off.
I know, Megan. It's games like this, they're counting on games like this. They do it in the locker room. They plan ahead, okay, you know, possibly get 2 points out of here. And it's games like this that they lost constantly last year, and they're going to have to win this year. And it's going to hurt them come playoff time in March.
Surprising, though, because Sutter is such a big motivator, and I'm sure in between each period he's got a mouthful or an earful for these guys. And they just didn't seem to respond today. They just didn't seem energy. They didn't have the legs, rusty, a little bit lethargic.
You know, I don't know if they're, you know, if their mind's not on the game right yet or what, but they missed a number of scoring chances in both the second and early on in the third period, and it was just that they've got to bury those chances, Megan, and close games, it's going to cost them. Tonight it did.
Well, it's time now to head right back out to Nashville to check in with the 2 guys who called the game. Pat and Billy, what an unfortunate game tonight. Obviously, 2 late goals, so late in the period, exactly what you don't want. Just a letdown for the Blackhawks, and one that they so needed.
Well, that's right. This one hurts a little bit. The winless streak now has reached to 4 straight games, by far the longest drought the Hawks have had. And this Nashville team, they continue to be pesky. They're going to work for 60 minutes regardless of what the scoreboard says, and it certainly paid off for them tonight. But one of the things that the Hawks have really done terrifically in the first part of the season, you've talked about it often, spread the scoring around. A new kid comes up to the team tonight and certainly makes his presence felt.
Well, Mike Peluso is a goal scorer. He's proved that in the minor leagues, and at 27 years of age has never gotten a chance with any team to play at the National Hockey League level. Had a great camp, and I think proved the point at camp. The one thing they want him to do is play stronger, of course, defensively, but he proved his worth in an early shift in the first period on a backhand goal. Nice play by Mike Peluso, his first NHL game and first NHL goal. And at the time, that was a big jump start for the Blackhawks. Exactly that, spreading the wealth around, getting a couple of goals from different players. And that has been maybe the luxury the Blackhawks have had, having depth so far in their front 3 lines scoring.
Well, it looked so promising, especially because it was the Hawks who were able to tie the game with just over 5 minutes remaining. And yet one of the things that has given them trouble, it gives every team trouble. Possession in your own end is critical, but very costly turnover late in the game.
Well, no doubt about it. The one thing that I'm not so happy about with the Blackhawks is the fact that they have been scored on more than they have scored now in the third period. And that becomes a problem. First of all, they put themselves in position to win some games, but obviously teams have come back and scored a number of goals in the third period. And a great effort by the Predators. They just stormed the net. There's Blackhawks everywhere, but they're all laying on the ice, so that's no good. And Justin Thibault was also on the ice. He couldn't get up and find the puck. A great play by Zhamnov taking a couple of guys down, and Legwan, who started the play on the boards, came out of nowhere and had an empty net. There was 4 guys in white laying on the ice in the crease area. They could not find the puck, and I agree with you, though. This was a big game. I think the Blackhawks needed this game on this trip, just the way things have gone. It was a seesaw battle. They had plenty of chances. Kyle Calder missed an empty net goal. Eric Dazer missed a chance. Korolev had a breakaway, and these were all early on. It could have been a different story, but you can't let teams have that extra energy. They played in Detroit last night. They had to be a little bit tired. They played with emotion, but that, if you're a good team, you step on them, and you got to learn to do that, and you got to be able to step on them and then go ahead with it and win this game easily, and that wasn't the case. Give credit to Nashville. They fought hard.
They sure did, and you know, the Blackhawks looking forward now go to Columbus for a game on Friday night, and this is the first real, I think, character test of the Chicago Blackhawks from the standpoint that I think they're searching a little bit now. They wonder how good they are. Don't forget, they've played 23 games and lost only 7, but they haven't tasted victory for a while. So that'll be a big one on Friday. Let's send you back to the Chicago studios.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a safe trip on to Columbus.
Thanks.
Well, it's time now to check out the goalie matchup. Jocelyn Thibault, the team's workhorse, has started 22 games so far. Started up against Mike Dunham, who actually just played the first period, and then Tomas Vokoun came in after him. But Thibault saved 18 shots. That is save percentage 818. Mike Dunham obviously pulled after the first period. Tomas Vokoun actually handled it pretty well from there on out. But Thibault today, I mean, was it the guys in front of him like we saw in Edmonton just didn't get a lot of help in front, or was he a little bit off tonight?
You know, man, I think that he may have been a little jittery after getting shelled in Edmonton, but all in all, he did, I think, keep him in the game. Nashville had numerous chances to score, as did the Hawks. I think Thibault did his job. I just think tonight that he didn't get the offensive output that Chicago should have given him tonight. And you can't blame Josh. I mean, you never can blame a goalie because he's always there. He saves you time in, time out, and they just got to come back, bounce back, and look forward to Friday.
You're right. That's the story right there. Tebow's now 12-6-4 on the year. The Blackhawks fall to Nashville late. 10.3 seconds left. The Predators prevail. We'll be right back after this break.
Eastern rivals square off at the Garden. Mercer is the Bulls' top offensive threat. Screwwell powers the Knicks' charge. Bulls-Knicks, Saturday at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Now, this morning.
The guy was a psychopath.
When that guy gets rolling, nothing stops him. He doesn't stop himself. NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net.
I'm funny.
An up-front guy, and I see things going wrong before they happen. And so as a result, you don't let a problem grow too big, and you address it very quickly. And people can say I'm firm and all the other BS. I'm up front, and I'm honest. And people want to be treated that way. They don't want to be told through the press that they're not playing well. My door is always open, and you don't stand in it. Walk in and sit down.
Since 1866, we've had only 6 master distillers at Jack Daniels. Job satisfaction's never been much of a problem. Jack Daniels, Tennessee whiskey.
Good evening, Chicago sports fans. You're tuned to Fifth Third Bank Chicago Sports Tonight.
Well, the Blackhawks are now 4 games under 500 on the road so far this season, and they have not won 1 game on their 6-game road trip with 2 games to go, still in search of that elusive win. Well, it's time to show and tell the action one more time. We're actually just going to show you the 3rd period, and the Predators would grab the lead power play opportunity, and these guys don't score on the power play much.
Oh, not a whole lot, but he just kind of tips it over Tebow's shoulder, and it's in the net.
But the Hawks, fight right back. Things again. Zhamnov shot blocked, but Amonte rebounds.
Yeah, that was a big goal. I thought they were on the move there and tied it up, but unfortunately.
The Predators win it late. David Legwan, the young guy, just slips one right past Tebow.
Oh, boy, guys scrambling all over in front of the net here, and all of a sudden there's one guy open, bang, the puck's in the net, and there's not much you can do about that.
So 4-3, the Predators prevail. Legwan with the game winner, as you saw. Mike Peluso, you might not know his name. He was a Blackhawks rookie, and his NHL debut got his first goal of the season in the 1st period. Eric Dazer also scored his 11th game on the year. The Predators have now won 4 games at home. Now, the big question, though, is that the Blackhawks move on, and I thought Pat and Billy touched on something that right now, this is really the Blackhawks' first test of adversity for a lot of these guys, you know, who haven't faced this at all this year. Do you think right now they're wondering, you know what, was that just a fluke? Are we really that good? They're just kind of searching right now.
I think, Megan, that Brian's going to take them into the locker room tonight after the game and go, hey, guys, listen, we had a chance to win this game or even tie this game. Now, you cannot continue to do this all year long. These are teams that we should be either getting a point or getting 2 points out of, and Brian's going to instill that in them. And I look for them to really come back hard on Friday, because Brian's going to light a fire underneath them, and he's not going to take no for an answer from anybody.
You're right, and Columbus has won, just like tonight, that they need to win. While the road woes continue for the Blackhawks, they have now a 4-game winless streak. Nashville on top 4-3. We'll be right back.
Bank presents the story of the 4th little pig.
The first 3 pigs used brick sticks and hay, but the 4th little pig went the equity way. With an equity flex line at a low rate, he has lots of reasons to celebrate, like card access all over the land and a fixed-rate loan locked in on command. It's flexible, it's easy, anywhere, anytime. Only from Fifth Third, it's Equity Flex Line. Working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need.
Did he get the phone back?
It's the 3rd truckload this week.
Yeah, great deal. You get the bonus pack, $49.99 after a $30 rebate. Plus now you can get 5,000 minutes for just $39.99 a month.
Can't keep them on the shelf. Was there a pink doll on that shipping order? Nope. Hey, can I give it to Bruno?
Get the Primeco bonus pack and now get 5,000 minutes a month for just $39.99. Call 1-800-PRIMECO.
It's a special holiday edition of College Football Saturday. Oklahoma State faces a Sooners squad marching towards a repeat title run. Enemies duel in the desert. Arizona invades Tempe to battle Arizona State. College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net, presented by Kyocera.
Well, the Blackhawks have 2 games left on their road adventure. They take on Columbus Friday at 5:30. We have that pregame show for you. And then it's a big game in Detroit. They're the leaders in the Central right now. Our pregame begins at 4:30 also on Fox Sports Net. Then they will return home to take on the Canucks Wednesday, November 28th. You better hurry up and get your tickets for that one. We're now going to check out Detroit in action tonight against Columbus. This one went into OT, and the game winner came by none other than Luc Robitaille's 13th game on the year. Slips one right past Ron Tugnut. So Detroit has now won 5 straight games, and I will tell you they are improving in the Central standings. This was a big loss for the Blackhawks tonight because they didn't gain any ground. Detroit, as you see right now, actually leads the league with 19 wins, 39 points. They now are 11 points ahead of Chicago. What's key for the Blackhawks to rebound against Columbus?
Well, I think against Columbus, you know, they're upset because they lost a heartbreaker against Detroit with 1 minute to go in overtime. So they're not going to be a pushover by any means. They're going to be coming out mad as Hornets, and that's what the Hawks are going to have to pick it up and put some pucks in the net.
Well, the Blackhawks lose to the Predators. We'll have the full report on the Chicago Sports Report, plus the latest news from the Bears. There's an injury who has hit Anthony Thomas. That's